Hello, everybody. It's Matthew Street, and welcome to my channel. As always, I appreciate you being here, folks. Thank you so much. And, folks, how did I miss it? How did I miss this? In this video, I'm going to tell you about how I discovered, with the help of one of my viewers, a great lost Beatles album. Yes, folks. Now, I know what you're saying, Matt. Are you crazy? What are you talking about? There's, at this point in history, 2025, there's no lost Beatles albums. Well, hear me out, folks, okay? Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I think you'll get where I'm going in a minute here. Have you ever heard the term hiding in plain sight? I'm sure you have. So, I have many great viewers and subscribers and friends here on YouTube, and one of them was my viewer and YouTube friend, Joseph Mantineo. Joseph has been a long-time supporter, commenter, subscriber. He's great, posts great stuff, gives me great tidbits and things. He's just wonderful. Like so many of my viewers, Joseph is wonderful. Joseph, if you're watching this, love you, man. Thank you. Well, I'm speaking with him about the U.S. Rubber Soul album. I was talking about a video I made not too long ago on my Beatles album Spotlight series where I highlighted Rubber Soul. And we were kind of like, I was, gushing how I think it's one of my, it's a great folk rock masterpiece. The way the U.S. Rubber Soul, that's what my video is about. And although I love the U.K. Rubber Soul, the U.S. one is just a fan favorite of mine because I love what they did with that Capitol, whether it was an accident or not. I think it's just like an early clue to folk rock majesty, in my opinion. I love it. Brian Wilson was influenced by the U.S. Rubber Soul to do Pet Sounds. So it's great. Well, anyway, get back on track here. So we were talking about that. And he said, oh, you know about the other one, right? I go, the other one? What, Joseph, what are you talking about? I said, no, tell me. What do you mean? He said, there is it's hidden within a common UK album. What is? He said, there's another cool, kind of missing or hard to find Beatles folky, poppy, jangle album, but it's hidden within another UK album. I go, what are you talking about? He says, you can only find it in a certain format. So now I'm all curious. I'm like, what is he talking about? So, folks, here is my reveal. And I'll tell you in a minute. Don't get mad at me. The Great Lost Beatles album. I know what you're saying. Matt, are you crazy? What are you talking about? That's the UK Help album. We know it. We love it. The 7 Help songs are on side 1, and on side 2 is the, starting with Act Naturally. We got the other 7 songs. You got the soundtrack, and then additional songs on the back. Okay, I know that, folks. That's what I thought, too. But Joseph said to me, now, he says, go to the cassette version of this album, either the original old Parlophone one, the old white plastic cassette with the blue lettering, or if you can find the 1987 reissue cassette on Capitol, it's, there's the Parlophone issue, then there's the EMI reissue or the Capitol reissue. And I said, yes, I can get it. And I did. So, folks, here it is. Now, you might be saying, Matt, do tell. Well, I did. I looked at this. I didn't have this. Folks, when I was in England for 2 years in the service, I bought mostly the vinyl albums. I did buy a few cassettes of the old Parlophone cassettes that looked like this with the album and the tan banner on them. But I didn't have Help. I had maybe a handful of them on cassette, but not Help. Okay? I did not have this one. So Joseph got me so worked up and curious about this that I ordered this, and I got it for a good price. This is the 1987 reissue on the clear plastic with the white lettering. This is not the original Parlophone with the white plastic blue lettering. Anyway, so I did get this, and I looked at it, and I went, wow. The sequencing is completely different on this than on this. I did not know that. The sequencing knocked me out on this cassette of the UK Help album, folks. Now, any of you that already know all this, you're probably going, Matt, you didn't know that? No, I didn't. I didn't realize it, or if I was casually aware of it, I didn't know. Folks, listen to this. Side 1 doesn't start with Help, okay? Side 2 doesn't start with Act Naturally, like on the vinyl version. On here, I always felt this was a bit choppy. I always felt like, you got the 7 Help soundtrack songs on one side, then they threw a bunch of stuff on the other side, ending with Dizzy Miss Lizzy, and it's a great album, but it's like, it's for some reason when they did it with Hard Day's Night, it didn't bother me as much to have all the soundtrack stuff on one side and then extra stuff on the other side. But on this one, something seemed off about it with me with the sequencing. I don't know what it was, but listen to this, okay? Side 1, they've shuffled everything around for the cassette. George gets another start to a Beatles album. I Need You kicks off side 1 on the cassette version of this. Second song, Another Girl. Third song, they pulled a song from side 2 over. I've Just Seen a Face. Fourth song, Yesterday. Fifth song, The Night Before. Then Ticket to Ride, and then we finish out side 1 on the cassette version with Act Naturally. Total different sequencing from the vinyl. Side 2 starts with Help. Okay, I'll see if this translates, if it shows up as I'm reading it to you. Second song, You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. Third song, You're Gonna Lose That Girl. Then, It's Only Love, You Like Me Too Much, Tell Me What You See, and Dizzy Miss Lizzy. I hope that's translating. Look at the sequencing on this, folks. Look at that. Look at that. It's a thing of beauty. It's beautiful. I love it. It's like it's a whole new different listening experience, folks. I even took the songs from this and I mixed them all around I made a Spotify playlist in this order and been listening to it lately, and wow, it's a whole new thing. It's like it went from that kind of choppy soundtrack one side, everything else thrown on the other side, to now it's a well-sequenced, it melds together well. It's a good melding of the 14 tracks into a unique sounding, freestanding Beatles album. You're not listening to it like you're listening to soundtrack songs and then other. No, now they've just by taking 2 or 3 or so from one side and throwing them on the first side and taking some from there and throwing them on the second side. It's become this almost like an acoustic pop rock and roll gem of an album now, in my opinion. So similar to Rubber Soul, what Capitol did with the U.S. Rubber Soul, it's got a little folk rock. The way it sequences along, it's like folk rock into rock and roll, into pop, Act Naturally, a little country to end side 1, then some ballads, and then 12-string jangle comes in. And then it's just fabulous this way, I think, folks. Absolutely fabulous. Look at that. It's just absolutely wonderful. So that's it, folks. If you think, clickbait, Matt, clickbait. Folks, I'm just trying to get your attention to tell you about something I think is very cool. I'm so used to the album being like this, 7 songs from the soundtrack, 7 other songs, But when you get the cassette version of it, it's totally jingle jangle, jumble jamble. It's like they switched it all around to a point where it's like a whole new listening experience. And I just wasn't cognizant of it. Sue me. I don't know everything. Things get by me, and that got by me. I was not aware that was so different. What a listening experience. And, God bless George Harrison. He gets that, be his 3rd Beatles album where he kicks it off, Roll Over Beethoven? What is it? No. Taxman on Revolver. And does he get a Roll Over Beethoven? I don't know. All right, sue me. But I'm saying it's just so cool to see George get a step up. He gets another, on this format of Help, George is the first song with I Need You. that's it, folks. I'm just kind of over the moon about this because I just think it's the coolest thing. And I thank Joseph Mantineo. Thank you, Joseph, for telling me about it. I'm so happy I have this little cassette now as a collectible because I love the sequencing on this a little better than I love the sequencing on this. That's it, folks. I hope you had fun with this. I hope you'll go check it out. Or if you already were aware of this, what do you think? Do you like the sequencing the way it was? Or do you like the way they jumbled it around a little bit for the cassette version? I like the jumble. I think it's a cool listening experience. That's it, folks. Thanks for being here. Please like, comment, and I'd appreciate a subscription if you don't mind. It helps my channel grow. It helps me produce more content for you, and I really would appreciate it. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye.